I'm so glad to be a part of a reasoned and loving church family like ours. Our church facilities may have been closed lately, but the church is living in glorious ways in and through you and our community. I'm glad we are being cautious in our decisions to gather again in our facilities, and proud no one has or hopefully will come to our facility and go away sick because we confused our pride with our faith. Today I'm going to relate to you some of the great things that have been happening and are happening through the ministry of our church. Then I'd like to inform you of some of our future plans. As you know, ministry goes on in and through our church family, regardless of what we can or cannot do on a Sunday morning. In fact, any church worth its salt is doing more important stuff any other day of the week than it is on a Sunday morning. Since the onset of COVID-19, our community of faith has been excelling in ministry. Let me give you just a few examples. In the past 3 months, our members have excelled at making protective masks for medical personnel and others at risk. Our members have offered weekly tween and children online sessions, stories, and ministry through creative technology. We've immersed a lot of our members themselves in helping the harbor adapt their ministries and successfully deliver food to hurting citizens in Dothan. We've developed a new online presence, including a new Sunday online worship community. I'm pleased to let you know that our trustees have approved an $83,000 upgrade project to our online capabilities and communications department that will allow us to live stream both our sanctuary services and bridge service going forward. Because of a gift from the Bridge Core team, a gift by the Fund Management Committee from one of our trusts established by someone who died long before there was such a thing as the internet, and because of a generous donation from one of our households, we will not have to raise any monies to pay for these upgrades. The new upgrades have been ordered and are being received now. Our members in the last 3 months have excelled at making prayer shawls for hurting people in our community. They've offered a weekly respite care support group. They've celebrated the sparkling deep cleaning of our facilities by our great custodial staff. In the last 3 months, members have sent support notes from our tweens to our local healthcare workers. We have participated with guests in a great number of Zoom Sunday school classes, prayer groups, and short-term studies like the Anatomy of Peace. We have been able to pay our Uber adapting and caring church staff. Your generosity has been instrumental in keeping our ministry moving forward. I encourage you to keep it up. More particularly, I encourage all of our non-pledge givers to support our church in the weeks ahead. Our non-pledge giving is one area where we are particularly challenged at this time. If you are a non-pledge giver, I ask you to consider making a significant gift to God's work in and through our church this week. Also, our Finance Committee church treasurer were instrumental in securing PPP funds that have helped us see through the past few months. We have shared a Good Word video offering 4 days a week lately. For 3 months, we've obtained and bagged food to support children in our community who are struggling with hunger. Our members have hosted numerous Zoom youth gatherings for teenagers in our community. We've used our cyber skills to send thanks and prayers and a special video to the health workers in Dothan. The list goes on and on and on. Now, I'm glad to update you on where we are in terms of re-engaging our facilities and the ways we hope to move forward. I'm very intent on keeping us focused on the ultimate concern for the safety and health of our community, and am determined not to add to the suffering of the county and state that our church has been called to love. Last week, the Alabama Department of Public Health's daily COVID-19 case totals revealed an increase of 17% over the previous week. Obviously, that is concerning. In making decisions about regathering, I've repeatedly sought input from several sources: a team of local physicians, a group of elected church leaders, staff colleagues, our bishop, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, and state and federal leaders. I know people, so I know not everyone will agree with the way forward that I will outline in a minute. I understand that, and I'm very comfortable with what others believe and their different opinions concerning these complex issues. As always, I'm glad to speak with you about your concerns on this subject. You can reach me at 333-2995. Currently, our church staff members are diligently working from home and going to the church periodically. The staff is in a focused season of preparing and training us all to be ready again for large in-person gatherings at our facilities. They're organized into smaller groups that are thinking through everything we will need to purchase and everything that will have to happen for our re-entry into our building. They are available by phone or email. Presently, only groups of 12 people or less are permitted to gather in our facilities. These small groups will need to clean surfaces they have touched, maintain at least 6 feet of distance from each other, and wear masks. The group will also need to maintain a record of those present to send to a staff liaison in case one of the members of the group is diagnosed with COVID-19 in the days ahead. This applies to group gatherings, all of them, including funerals and weddings. When small groups meet at our church facilities, and when the day comes when larger groups can meet, some individuals, for various reasons, may not feel comfortable being in attendance. If you feel that way, please follow your own judgment and abide by your own decisions. We will continue to live stream worship, and I hope in the future, all of our studies, classes, and group meetings will continue using technology to help those who might not be ready or able to attend a small group gathering. Now to the future. First, I want to be very clear about the decisions I'm about to outline, to let you know they're all tentative. Tentative in the sense that no one can predict what the next few weeks will bring with this virus. Secondly, when we come back into our facility in large groups, things will be very different. You need to be ready for those changes. For instance, masks will be required when on the premises to help prevent those who are asymptomatic from infecting others. Temperatures will be taken upon entry. Items like bulletins, drinks, and yes, even donuts will not be present. Reservations will be necessary for in-person worship, and we won't be passing the offering plate. You'll learn about all these changes in the days ahead. I believe our best course of action forward is to follow the new guidelines of the CDC, the recommendation of our bishop and cabinet, our common sense, and the constraints of love. You may have seen Bishop Graves has strongly recommended that no large group gatherings be held in Methodist churches through the end of June. We will follow that recommendation, and we are now praying and looking for an overall downward trend with a variance of 10% in new cases of COVID-19 in Houston County and Alabama before we open our facilities for large in-person gatherings. We have several goals for the new future. We are working diligently toward offering 2 online Sunday morning worship service, a bridge service and a sanctuary service, beginning June 14th. Our church staff, where appropriate, will come back to the church offices on June the 15th. The church offices will be open again on June 22nd from 7:30 to 2:30, Monday through Thursday. Our intention is to have the office door near the Rose Garden available for entry by the 22nd so that we can take the temperature of all who enter and encourage them to wear a mask to protect those already in our facilities. On July the 7th, our goal is to begin offering 2 in-person worship services at 8:55. We will continue live streaming these 2 services for those who cannot attend. Our one service will be in the fellowship hall, the other in the sanctuary. We believe the capacity for each of these 2 services will be around 110 people per site. In the near future, you will receive information concerning how you can make a reservation to be present at a worship service. This will be our slow start method for re-engaging in-person worship. As we learn from these 2 services and adapt, we will expand to more services appropriately. This is the same methodology we will use with re-engaging in-person Sunday school classes, group gatherings, weekday children's ministry, and other ministries of our church. So onward and forward we move, and thank God we have the joy of moving forward together. Thank you for being the body of Christ in our community, and thank you for all the prayers you are offering for all who have leadership in our church and our church staff. God is at work in us all. May God continue to bless you.